National Taxpayer Advocate Erin M has issued her mid-year report to Congress, and in that report, she is sharing some insights on those delayed amended tax returns, a reason why many of them are delayed, as well as the average time frame this tax season for processing those amended tax returns, what is really going on behind the scenes. So make sure you're watching till the very end, and welcome back, everyone. So happy to have you back for another updated on the IRS.gov website, June 21st, 2023. The report says that the tax return filing season generally ran smoothly this year. Overall, the difference between the 2022 tax filing season and the 2023 tax filing season was like night and day. Despite the many improvements this tax season, the report also states that the IRS is still behind in processing amended tax returns and your taxpayer correspondence. Typically, employees in the IRS account management function perform two roles. They answer your telephone calls as well as they process your correspondence, your amended tax returns, and other cases. The report says the IRS was much more effective in answering your telephone calls this year, but that came at an expense because they could only accomplish this by prioritizing the phones over other IRS operations, resulting in greater delays in processing your amended tax returns as well as your paper correspondence. IRS reduced its backlog of unprocessed paper file original tax returns from 13.3 million at the end of 2022 tax filing season to 2.6 million at the end of the 2023 tax filing season. That represents a reduction of 80%. And that was their mark. In terms of processing the amended tax returns, the IRS, in contrast to the 80% reduction in the backlog of paper file original tax returns, the inventory of amended returns was 3.6 million in April of 2022, and it only decreased to 3.4 million in April of 2023, a reduction of only 6% between the two periods. The tax returns are still delayed. Here is the chart showing the contrast between the numbers from 2022 and 2023. Now, for individual amended returns, those are your forms 1040X, the IRS processing time was an average of 7 months. Remember, the time frame for amended tax returns is 16 to 20 weeks. And the report is saying that it's taking the IRS an average of 7 months to complete your amended tax returns. Now, on the business side, a large portion of the delayed processing in those amended returns is attributed to that employee retention credit, ERC claims. The ERC is a refundable tax credit that Congress authorized to encourage employers to retain employees during COVID-19. Employers may receive up to $26,000 per employee if they meet certain conditions. Many ERC claims are legitimate, but the IRS has also received a large number of fraudulent claims. So if you claim that ERC credit, that could be a reason why your amended tax return is still delayed. It states that the influx of fraudulent claims has put the IRS between a rock and a hard place. Erin Collins wrote, if the IRS pays out the claims quickly without taking the time to review them individually, it will be making some payments to individuals potentially who are engaging in fraud. If it takes the time to review the claims individually, legitimate businesses who need the funds Congress authorized to help them to stay afloat may not receive them. Now, for victims of identity theft, the delays have been particularly long and frustrating as well. The average cycle time for identity theft victim assistance cases closed in April 2023 was 436 days, nearly 15 months. Now, that is for identity theft victim cases. That is about 3 months longer than the 362-day cycle for cases closed in April 2022. So there is also an increase in fraudulent cases that are taking long. Now, here are some of the suggestions the Taxpayer Advocate Erin Collins has for fiscal year 2024. Number one, to protect taxpayer rights as the IRS implements its strategic operating plan. The IRS operating plan proposes compliance initiatives designed to quickly resolve taxpayer issues and improve tax compliance, particularly among high-income taxpayers, large businesses, improve correspondent audit process, taxpayer participation and agreement, and default rates. The IRS conducts most of its audits by correspondence. Taxpayers often have difficulty navigating the correspondent audit process, including difficulty understanding the notices. So she is stating that they need to improve that, as well as implement systematic first-time penalty abatement, but allow substitutions of reasonable costs. Under existing procedures, the IRS will provide a first-time abatement of penalties for failure to file, failure to pay, and failure to deposit required tax if a taxpayer is otherwise compliant and has not used the FTA within the prior 3 years. You can contact the Taxpayer Advocate Service about your delayed amended tax returns at 1-877-777-4778. You can also visit the Taxpayer Advocate Service on their Twitter page as well as on their regular website. All right. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell